Not many car makers could get away with creating a tribute to their own vehicle, but then Ferrari isn't your typical brand. This is the new F8 Tributo, and it celebrates some pretty special stock. Any car that uses the 458 as its base ought to be pretty special, but that is in effect what the F8 Tributo is all about, building on the 458 and the succeeding 488 first brought out in 2015. The Tributo part of the equation pays homage to Ferrari's award-winning V8. The F8 gets more power, better aero and effectively more performance than its predecessor. And at $485,000, it's also set to double as a finale for a non-hybridised mid-engine Ferrari. Now Ferrari calls this a more comfortable version of the 488 Pista, but you definitely wouldn't call it soft, because compared with the regular 488 that it replaces, it's got more downforce front and rear, it's got more power, and it weighs 40 kilograms less. Talk about evolution. The 3.9 litre twin-turbo V8 now makes 530 kilowatts or 720 horsepower in the old money. That's line ball with the McLaren 720S. The acceleration times here are mesmerising. 0 to 100 in 2.9 seconds and 0 to 200 in 7.8. Now all those power figures aside, it's the ease of access and the ease of use that you get with the F8 Tributo. It is such an easy car to drive on the limit, and that is thanks largely to its underlying electronics. This is the 6th generation of Ferrari software that first debuted in the 458 and the LaFerrari, and it is so intelligent, so intuitive, and just seems to give you a really solid safety net to work off. 265 k's an hour here down the Sydney Motorsport Park straight, and yet coming into turn 1, the car just feels so stable, the downforce is excellent, and the level of electronics that you have on hand, it never really feels like it's going to blow you into the weeds. That's incredible for a car with this much power. Another phenomenal feature with the F8 is its aero and downforce, achieved through clever design like this S-duct up front borrowed from the 488 Pista. There are no garish wings or bumpers here, folks. It seems designers and engineers have arrived at a perfect middle ground. Another big credit here for Ferrari is soundtrack. For a V8 engine that's turbocharged, it leaves the likes of McLaren for dead in terms of raw emotion. And also it's a car that will happily rev to 8,000 RPM. Ferrari have done a bang up job with this car. It's incredible. At 485k before the long list of options, luxury car tax and on-road costs, the F8 Tributo rules itself out to 99.9% of the population. There are elements of the cabin borrowed from the predecessor cars that feel a little bit tired, and we can't tell you how the F8 performs on ordinary roads, but in its natural setting, it's an incredible machine, arguably achieving what the 458 Italia did in its heyday, but without the signature Atmo V8 soundtrack. Now, not only does the F8 Tributo mark a high point for Ferrari's entry-level mid-engine supercar, it could also mark an end point, with Ferrari reportedly developing a hybrid drivetrain for its next generation mid-engine supercar. I reckon it's fair to say that this one has gone out with a bang.